This is my very neglected Yamaha Thunderace. Not only has this Yamaha Thunderace been off the road for the best part of 20 years, it is also damaged too. And that damage is unfortunately to the frame, which means I guess we've got to completely strip this old bruiser down and replace the frame. This is where I really want to give a big shout out to eBay. I needed to source a difficult to find replacement frame, and if I wanted to find the right part at the right price, eBay was the answer. You see, because you can find, fix and save on vehicle parts and accessories with eBay. So using my faithful toolbox on wheels, I collected the replacement frame and popped it into the boot of my car, which got me thinking. If it wasn't for eBay and the range of parts available, it would be really hard to restore such an old motorcycle. And keeping on subject to replacement parts, eBay have a dedicated section for motorcycle parts and accessories where you can find, fix and save. Right now they are offering 20% off motorcycle clothing, parts and accessories up until the 30th of September. So of course I took advantage of the offer and picked up myself some shiny new disc brakes. What's next then? Well, I really want to restore this Thunderace to the best of my ability, so we certainly need to keep breaking this bike down, ready to be rebuilt again.
That's
perfect. I'm well chuffed with that. Now we need to remove the carbs from the engine, which I'm nervous about because, well, look at how corroded these tiny little Allen key bolts are. As for these tiny Allen key bolts, well, surprisingly, they all undone with absolute ease. What wasn't coming off with ease though were the carbs, but I found a great spot on the engine to get some leverage in order to force them off. Here are the condition of the carbs. A bit worried because it seems like there is a bit of oil in places, like dried oil. So be sure to get these all stripped back, cleaned up before they are reinstalled. Oh, and before you lose your mind, I did my best to protect the inlets. Okay, next challenge, and that is to remove the front and rear wheels along with the front and rear suspension. I've got nothing to hold the frame in the air. I'm going to put 2 axle stands under here, and hopefully that supports the bike enough for me to remove those significant parts from the frame. At this point, I did realise I still had to whip that nose fairing off. On to removing the front wheel, and this was quite amusing. You see, I really struggled to undo the front axle nut. It was so tight. Can you believe it? I missed this bottom pinch bolt, which clearly did its job. But once that pinch bolt was loose, the axle finally gave way. And looking at those old brake discs, I couldn't help but think how those shiny new discs I picked up from eBay will eventually look once they're installed. I then discovered I couldn't remove that front wheel with the brake calipers in situ, so off with those next. The brake fluid smelt fishy, which I assume means the fluid has gone off. The front calipers though were in such good condition, I don't think I need to be very concerned with these. As for the rear caliper though, it did seem to be sticking. I had released the fluid and there was still quite a noticeable bit of resistance. In comes my wonderful assistant again, just to help ensure, as I lowered the bike off the paddock stand, that the frame was comfortably on those axle stands. Let's remove the rear shock, shall we? And it was proper crusty under here, as you could imagine. The rear shock had this canister of some sort plumbed into it with a warning symbol on it. It had to be removed, so I was a little nervous about handling it. Turns out it was very pressurised. This is where we are then. You must think I am bonkers, right? I mean, keep in mind, I am a proper novice here. I'm learning as I go. So some of the plans we have are for the wheels to be powder coated, have new bearings, as well as of course my new front discs from eBay installed, and certainly new tyres too. Front forks visually look in very good condition, however they will definitely need new oil and seals. Undecided right now whether or not to have them powder coated too. What a day, honestly. Stripping that Thunderace is so difficult but so rewarding at the same time. But listen, before we end this video, and to give you a flavour of what is yet to come, I want to show you what eBay also sent me. Check this out. This is going to be a direct replacement. This is going to be a very cost-effective replacement to that crusty unit that we removed earlier. So if you fancy something like this for your bike, then be sure to head over to eBay UK for all your parts and accessory needs.